Coalesce allows users to take advantage of powerful machine learning capabilities through the use of Snowflake Cortex functions that are configured as nodes within your Coalesce workspace. These nodes are configured the same way as any other node within your workspace, containing a node definition, create template, and run template. You can add a machine learning node to your data pipeline within your Coalesce workspace, assuming the data provided meets the input parameters of the node. Let's take a look at an example of this. I've created a simple data pipeline that allows me to see each of the menu items associated with every order for a fictional food truck business. Let's assume that I want to forecast the sales amounts for the items that I sell from my food truck. I can add an ML forecast node to my Coalesce workspace, and without writing a single line of code, can configure a machine learning forecast to answer my questions. In this case, I have 3 input parameters: a series column, timestamp column, and target column. Within the node, we have the option to toggle off multi-series forecast, which would remove the series column input. This would indicate that there is only a single series we want to forecast on, such as a menu item for only pizza. In this case, we want to forecast the sales amounts for multiple menu items, so we will toggle the multi-series forecast option to on. The columns available in this node can be passed through as inputs for this node. I've configured my data pipeline to pass through a series column, a timestamp column, and a numeric value I want to forecast. For the series column for our configuration, we will use the menu item name to define the multiple series, such as hot dogs, fries, and ice cream. For the timestamp column, we will pass through the order TS column, which is a timestamp at the day level. You should note that Cortex functions will automatically infer the timestamp granularity you are passing through as an input. For example, if your timestamp contains minutes as the lowest level of granularity, the Cortex function will automatically infer the minute as the level your forecast will be generated at. This goes for seconds, hours, days, or any other timestamp granularity you pass through as an input. Finally, for our target column, we will pass through the order amount column. This is the target, or value, we are seeking to forecast for our series. With our inputs configured, we have the option to toggle on or off the exogenous variables option. If the node you are configuring contains additional features or columns that you would like to have included within the training of the model, you can leave this toggle on, and Snowflake Cortex will attempt to use any column not used as an input above as an additional feature for training. In this case, I do not have any additional features, so I'm going to toggle off exogenous variables. We are presented with a days to forecast option, which is pre-configured to 30 days. I'm going to update this option to 7 days so I can forecast out the next week of sales. With that, I can create and run the node. Coalesce will kick off the Snowflake Cortex functions needed to develop and train the forecast model using the inputs we have provided. And that's it. No coding necessary. When working with Cortex forecast nodes in Coalesce, there are a few tips that can help you avoid some of the common Snowflake Cortex errors. First, forecasting models do not particularly like nulls. While the model will handle some nulls, if your source data has a significant number of null values, you will likely encounter an error. Secondly, if the timestamp you are using has inconsistent frequencies, such as some timestamps being at the hour level and others being at the second level, the Cortex function will likely throw an error. Finally, if you leave the exogenous variables toggle on, you will need to ensure that you are providing additional features to the model to allow it to use these features to predict future values. Otherwise, the model will throw an error. As Snowflake releases Cortex functions, Coalesce continues to provide that same functionality to our users through our nodes. If you have questions about using machine learning nodes in Coalesce, check out our documentation or reach out to our support team at help.coalesce.io.